Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, folks, chaps, chapesses. Back in one of my favorite spots. Phil Walsh, licensed real estate broker with Skyline Properties and Home Owner Solution. Coming to you live from Chambers Bay Golf Club. It's beautiful out here. So listen, #1 living channel in Tacoma, the #1, all down to you guys, and we really appreciate it. Can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough. So this video is titled Top 6 Things to Know Before Moving to Seattle, Washington. No bollocks, no BS. Let's just dive straight in, shall we? Let's get after it. So let's chat about the weather, which is sometimes the elephant in the room when it comes to Washington State. Does it rain all the time? It rains all the time. Gotta rain all the time. Sleepless in Seattle, that movie. The first thing that people will tell you, or the very first question that we get asked, people leave comments and ask us, the very first question is, Phil, does it rain all the time? No, it doesn't. And we've gone over this in quite a few of our videos, okay? We have 4 seasons. We have an absolute beautiful Washington State. We're called the Evergreen State. It's just green upon green upon green, okay? From, say, about October through to sort of February, March, there is what you would call maybe the Seattle gloom type deal, okay? Does it drizzle a lot? Yes, it does. It does drizzle quite a bit. Does it rain and downpour all the time? No, it doesn't. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody with a brolly. That would be an umbrella. You'd be hard-pressed to catch anybody walking out and about downtown or wherever they are, even if they're going hiking or whatever it is, excuse me, with an umbrella. So it drizzles quite a bit. Does it rain all the time? No, it doesn't. Weather-wise, as far as during the wintertime concerned, we probably get maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow, maybe. We get the slight dusting now and again. Nothing to sort of, well, it depends if you want to go to work or not, I suppose, but we don't get nothing like the Chicago and places like that. We've got the beautiful mountains up here, Snoqualmie Pass, Tiger Mountain, for the skiing, for the snowboarding, for the tubing, if those wintertime activities, October through to March type deal, you can get up there all within an hour and a half, of Seattle, Puyallup, Tacoma, Olympia, everything close by. Our summer months are absolutely beautiful, okay? We don't get the high extremes of, say, like in Arizona, where it's 120 degrees, on a good day, and in the wintertime it's 90 degrees. Our summer months are consistent throughout, average temperatures ranging in that 70 degrees. We do get a couple of times where it gets up to the 90 degrees, don't get me wrong, but not most of the summertime is so pleasant. It's just to get out and about with your family, go hiking, go paddleboarding, go whale watching, get yourself up to the Orcas Islands, go on these biking trails, the hiking trails, like I said, the 3 national parks that we have, Cascades, Olympic, Rainier National Parks, everything here on your doorstep. So does it rain all the time? No, it doesn't. Does it drizzle quite a bit? Yes, it does. But like I said, you see me where we are today, Chambers Bay Golf Course. Have a little look at the drone footage that I'll play either beginning or end of the video. It's beautiful, and it's temperate, and it's awesome. So that is #1. The weather, okay? So #2, let's talk about the traffic. Wherever you are, unless you're out in the hillbilly boondocks in the middle of nowhere, if you're living in a major hub, if you're living in a major city, traffic kind of sucks wherever you are. It's just a fact of life. Unless, well, a lot of people are working from home these days, especially sort of post-pandemic, etc., but everybody's got to get out and about. Mentioned this in other videos. I-5 is the main, it's the main route going all the way from the Canadian border down to Mexico, basically, and it splits, goes right down through Seattle, past Tacoma, past Joint Base, Lewis, McChord, JBLM, all the way down south past Olympia. They've been working on I-5 since 2001. Do you remember that time when you go to Blockbusters and get a video for your Saturday night in? grab some popcorn, family movie, Blockbusters. 2001. Blockbusters was around then. I-5 sucks. Good day, bad day, weekends, weekdays. The only time it's probably empty is like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and still there's some traffic on there. Downtown Seattle, it's just as bad. You got a kind of grid reference downtown in Seattle. Seattle's surrounded by water, more or less, type deal. So everything gets a little bit gridlocked down there. Commute times, it's an average 10 minutes longer in Seattle than the average national commute time. It's average national 17 minutes. Seattle is up to about 26, 27 minutes. Traffic just sucks everywhere you go. It's just, you got to, pop in the buds, put on some music, take a breath. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Even in the little village that we have, like, little town that we have in Puyallup, Meridian, that main thoroughfare goes through, traffic kind of sucks. So you kind of just got to go with the flow, guys, or not with the flow if the traffic's that bad. So traffic does suck. So number 3, which I see a lot of people talking about it. I personally haven't really experienced it, but I'm kind of one of those guys that I've got verbal diarrhea. I'll just talk the hind leg off a donkey. I'll go out to the bar and I'll end up chatting to everybody in the bar, and then sooner or later I'll probably buy everybody around. I'm that kind of guy. It just is what it is, right? But the passive aggressiveness up here called the Seattle freeze. A lot of people talk about it. I personally haven't experienced it. They say sometimes it's maybe harder to make friends up here. There's a little bit of maybe aloofness, a little bit maybe of the cold shoulder type deal. But again, I just go back to sort of personal experience as, to get to know somebody. I'm just one of those kind of people, right? I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to every single stranger in the street. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. Wife kind of hates it, loves it sometimes, depending on what we're doing and where we're going. Try having a quiet meal with me. Ain't gonna happen. So they do call it the Seattle freeze. So just be wary of where you're currently living and what the dynamics are down there. I think it obviously exists because people talk about it, okay? But again, I just go back to the fact that I think, especially places like Puyallup, certain areas of Tacoma, Olympia, it's just a very, very, I find it just a very friendly place to live. Very family orientated. There's always stuff to do. And again, I go back to, most people get out and about up here when you're living in Washington State, especially on the West Coast where we are. If you're not going down to the waterways, if you're not going up to the mountains, if you're not going to the national parks, if you're not doing these bike trails, hiking trails, getting out playing the sports with the kids, there's something for everybody. And I think that engages people more to be, hi, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how are you? But just be wary of it. They say sometimes it's harder to make friends because they say they have the Seattle freeze up here, passive aggressiveness. But horses for courses. If there's grass on the wicket, it's time to play cricket, and that's just the kind of guy I am, and that's where we go from there. Okay, so before I forget, listen, if you want to get in touch, if you're relocating to Washington State, if you're moving up here, whether it be Seattle, if you're coming in Joint Base Lewis McChord, JB-11 military, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate it. My father was in the British Forces. I know exactly what it's like to relocate every 2 to 3 years. If you're moving to Puyallup, Tacoma, Olympia, if you're going to 𝐬𝐮, if you're going further south, Centralia, Chehalis, wherever it is, if you're relocating and moving to Washington State, then get in touch with us so I can dial in on your needs and wants. I can help you relocate as stress-free as possible. I'm here to do all the work for you. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, like, subscribe these videos and this channel. Get that bell ding so you'll get notified every single time that we upload a new video. We're just here to give you that information. It's free watching this channel. As a buyer, as a buyer's agent, I'm free for you guys. My services are free for you guys. What could be better than that? Come on now. So let me jump right back in. So number 4, one of the things to know before moving to Seattle is the homelessness. You've probably seen it on the TV. Every time you turn the TV on, it's normally, oh, that's not great news, is it? Sometimes just turn it off, get out and about. But the homelessness in Seattle it's improved over the previous I would say 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, it used to be rife. It used to be aggressive. It was in your face. It was right up there. It was personal. It was bang bang in there. As a choo-choo train goes behind me right there, check that out down here on Chambers Bay Golf Course. Woohoo! So it has got a lot better, but it's still prevalent in Seattle. It's still right there, especially down that King Street station, down where the Seahawks play, down where the Mariners play, down there. As I said, it's got a lot better. And again, we don't go into politics in this channel. We just don't do that. But the homelessness, you've got to be aware of it downtown. You've got to be aware of it. You know, if you're going out, if you're checking out the night scene in Seattle, just to be aware that it's kind of sometimes personal, in your face, and very, very prevalent. It has got a lot better. We're not the doom and gloom channel. It is what it is, unfortunately, down there. So that's number 4, is the homelessness, okay? Hope you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. Can't cancel the train. It is what it is, right? So number 5 is the cost of living in Seattle. It's kind of pricey up there. I've mentioned in other videos the median home price in Seattle is north of $775,000 to $850,000. And I'm not talking, you know, a 3-4 bed 2-bath house. I'm talking mostly condos. You can get a condo, 1 bed, kind of 900 square feet, if not smaller, you know, round about maybe that $550,000, $600,000 mark. But the cost of living up, gas at the minute is up to that $550 mark. Groceries are kind of fairly pricey up in Seattle and the metro area. So the cost of living is quite pricey. You should really check it out and make sure that compared to wherever you live in, is to make sure you can dial that in onto your weekly budget, onto your monthly budget. Make sure, then don't forget, once you get in touch with myself and Addy, we can deconstruct that mortgage for you. You can give us a baseline. It's all right if you can afford $1 million home, but maybe you don't want to spend more than, say, $4,000 a month, right? So therefore we need to look in at $800,000, $850,000, might be $750,000, $900,000. You give us your target budget monthly with everything combined, with everything in there. You give us that budget and we'll deconstruct that mortgage and say, hey guys, we need to kind of stay in this range. We're not here to make your house poor. We follow your guidelines. We'll dial it in, your needs and wants. So that cost of living, factor that in. Factor it in if you've got a commute. Factor in the sort of higher gas prices that are currently up here. And we're in September of 2023 at the moment, okay? So cost of living was number 5. So number 6, and we don't go into politics on this channel, but I did a video last week about some of the reasons people are leaving Seattle, and one of the surveys, 9% of the people that were surveyed said it was because of the local politics, local government policies, and that 9% said that was the reason why they would consider leaving Seattle in the next 6 months to a year. Seattle is, well, Washington State is Democratic. Seattle is known for its liberal policies. So if you're relocating through your job, if you're relocating to JBLM through the military, again, thank you for your service. We do appreciate it. Factor that in and factor where you are living and factor in that sometimes, again, whatever your politics are, whatever your cup of tea is, got absolutely nothing to do with it. We don't talk about that. But you've got to remember, you've got to factor that in if you're moving here through that job relocation, into looking into some of the areas that might want to move to. So if you're thinking of moving to Seattle, you definitely need to remember some of these local policies, to be aware of them before you make that move, so you're not getting you're not getting a shock to the system. You're not getting oh good lordy, I wish I'd known that again. I wish I'd known that before I moved. So politics, 9% surveyed of about 700 the Census Bureau said that it was because of politics that some people were leaving Seattle. We do have a new mayor now in Seattle. Are things changing for the better? We kind of hope so. I'm a positive kind of guy. The glass is always kind of half full, so to speak. So yes, some things are changing, but be aware of that. Be aware of that before you relocate. So like I said, guys, my name is Phil Walsh. I'm a licensed real estate broker, Skyline Properties Inc., homeowner solution. We can't thank you enough for watching our videos. We've been going strong now for 3 months. We're absolutely knocking these numbers out of park. This is all down to you guys out there watching, liking, subscribing, leaving your comments. It's up to you guys. Get in touch. We've got your back if you're moving to Seattle, if you're moving to Washington State, if you're moving to Puyallup, Olympia, anywhere on this Western Washington State. We've definitely 100% got your back. Addy and myself, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. And guys, we just can't thank you enough. So like I said, guys, this is Phil Walsh, licensed real estate broker. Till the next time, chaps, peace out.